They're talking about regulating free speech and now regulating the First Amendment. It's bananas to watch.
Joe, they come after their political opponent.
The rebels are Republicans now. They're like, you want to be a rebel, you want to be punk rock, you want to like buck the system, you're a conservative now. Like when you said to Hillary, you'd be in jail. Like that's great timing.
Now the last clip I'm going to show you is one of my favorite parts of the entire interview. It's absolutely hilarious. Howdy, y'all. I'm Brylan. So President Trump was on Joe Rogan's show, and as you can see, it hasn't quite hit 1 million views an hour. So it's not really on, my level or anything, No, but this was an absolute fantastic episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. I think it really showed the human side of Donald Trump. The side that the left says he doesn't have. But seriously, watch this episode to see why the left hates Trump so much. They don't hate him because he's all the things they say he is. They hate him because he's not. Now, before you go watch this episode with Trump, in case you're sensitive to it, Rogan does have a little bit of potty in his mouth, so just go ahead and put some band-aids on your ears. Hey, real quick, would you hit that thumbs up button? When you like this video, to get pushed out to more people, and it would really help spread the truth. Now, we all know Kamala would never be able to sit down for 3 hours with Joe Rogan and have an actual conversation. Just a conversation like two human beings do. She can't even do it with friendly people like CNN, CNBC, ABC, LMNOP. But what you see in this episode of Joe Rogan is President Trump just casually having a conversation for 3 hours, just man to man. And, well, he went and did a rally right after this. And it was funny because Kamala had to take like 2 days off to prepare for the CNN town hall thing that absolutely tanked. But in this video, we're obviously not going to cover the whole entire 3 hours. But I want to show you some of the major clips that I think they don't want you to see. It's this kind of thing where Trump can sit down and have a conversation with Joe Rogan, and you can really see the personal side of Donald Trump. The media hates this. The elites hate this. Kamala hates this. And I want to show you just a few clips from it that they're going to hate that you see because they don't want you to know any of this. Now let's start with Rogan actually calling out the hypocrisy of shows like The View that used to love Trump, and then all of a sudden, the machine told them what they were allowed to feel. That's how the left operates, by the way.
It was the episode of you when you were on The View, and I think it was 2015 or 2006, like when you were running for president.
Right.
And you got introduced as our friend Donald Trump.
That's right.
Whoopi Goldberg gives you a big hug and a kiss. Joy Behar gives you a big hug. Barbara Walters gives you a big hug. They all loved you. They were talking about you in such a favorable light. The audience was cheering. And then you actually started winning in the polls. And then the machine started working towards you.
Yeah.
But there's probably no one in history that I've ever seen that's been attacked the way you've been attacked and the way they've done it, so coordinated and systematically. When you see those same people in the past, very favorable to you, like Oprah, when you were on Oprah's show,
very.
She was encouraging you
last week.
To add President of the United States to his resume, a lot of people would like him to. Please let's find out and please welcome my friend, Donald Trump.
My friend. My friend. Watch this. Just watch this. This is nuts. We're in an alternative universe. Okay, because this is not that long ago.
Go standing O.
Bro, watch this. Just watch how this goes. Watch this. So she's a Republican. That's easy.
Yeah.
But everybody else.
The Joy hugs. Can't wait to get a hug in.
Yeah, everyone's hugging. Look at this. Look at this. Kisses, hugs, kisses to Whoopi. Everybody hugs and kisses, even Joy Behar.
All of these women that spew their hatred and have sold their souls to the left's machine, they used to love Trump. And they couldn't wait for him to run as president. And then when he did, well, they told them they weren't allowed to feel and think in their own individual way. They must fall in line, and that's what they've done. You've clearly seen that. But I want you to see this as well. This is another clip. Look at this. This is actually back in 2003. But once again, this goes back a long way. They've known Trump for a long time. Now he's suddenly Hitler. They used to like having Hitler on their show.
Donald Trump, Joy said the guy wears a tube.
He says that it's his own hair. So I believe him because I believe Donald. He's an upstanding American.
Yeah.
But America doesn't believe him. We've gotten, a letter poured in yesterday. Asking, is that really his hair?
Oh my God.
Come on, just check it out.
No, it's true. It's real.
It's not very pretty, but it's real.
It's not very pretty, but it's real. Here's Trump where he talked about the biggest mistake that he made when he first came into being president in 2016.
The biggest mistake I made was I picked some people. I picked some great people, but you don't think about that. I picked some people that I shouldn't have picked. I picked a few people that I shouldn't have picked. And
Neocons?
yeah, neocons or bad people or disloyal people or
People that were just
people
bad.
that were into the
You
people
got
that,
bad advice.
Yeah, you're reading about him a little bit today. A guy like Kelly, who was a bully, but a weak person,
I just want to pause it real quick and show you that Kelly actually said that Trump made the comment that he wishes his generals were more like German generals. Recognize that Kelly has been caught lying and trying to stir trouble in Trump's administration several times. So this is nothing new to hear Kelly come out a couple weeks before the election and try to tank Trump with another lie. Now, this has absolutely been refuted by two separate people that were high up in the administration as well, but the media doesn't care about that, of course. Patently false. Former senior Pence advisors refute John Kelly's Hitler comments about Trump. These are Pence advisors, by the way. Remember, all of these accusations that have to do with these secret things Trump said when he was the president have zero evidence to back them up. All they have are the words of liars.
You know more about bullies than anybody probably around because you deal in a certain sport where the bullies are exposed very quickly.
Yeah.
But he's bad. Bolton was an idiot, but he was great for me because I'd go in with a guy like a John Bolton. You know John Bolton. A friend of mine called me up. I was picking Bolton, and he's a very smart guy. His name is Phil Ruffin. He's a very rich guy from Las Vegas. It was in that I was picking Bolton, or I picked Bolton. He called up. He said, "Don't pick him. Why? He's a bad guy." Now, he wasn't in politics at all. He's in various businesses. He said, "He's a bad guy. He's just, it always works out bad with that guy." I said, "Oh, man, I wish you told me this 2 weeks ago. I already hired him. He's here." And every time I had to deal with a country, when they saw this whack job standing behind me, they said, "Oh, man, Trump's going to go to war with us." He was with Bush when they went stupidly into the Middle East.
Oh, that's funny. Trump's biggest mistake was picking people to surround him that were not good picks. They were very bad people. And they had a history of, whether they were warmongers or just straight liars or a part of the machine or you name it. But Trump talks about how, when he came into being president in 2016, he had no idea about any of this. He had to rely on other people that he trusted, people that ended up steering him wrong. Now watch Rogan say why Trump became so popular.
One of the beautiful things about you is that you freeball. Like you get out and you do these huge events and you're just talking and you're making. We've highlighted you on the show many times when you did this Biden impression where he's walking around, he doesn't know what he's doing. But it's like you and you were making fun of Elon one time. You were doing an Elon impression. It's great. You have like comedic instincts. Like when you said to Hillary, you'd be in jail. Like it's great timing. But it's like that kind of stuff was unheard of as a politician. Like no one had done that.
Now, regardless of how you feel about the way Trump talks or the way he tweets, it's undeniable that the reason why the elites, the media, the machine hate Trump so much is because they can't control what he says or what he thinks. This is what the left thrives on, controlling you. They admit this themselves. Everything from Kamala saying that social media should be policed and that the right to free speech is something that is earned. It's not a right for you to have.
The rhetoric is also that you're Hitler, and that in order to stop Hitler, you have to do whatever it takes.
That was okay, yeah.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, you're hearing this now. Kamala compared you to, said your love of Hitler yesterday.
Kamala's a very low IQ person. She's a very low IQ. I'm for taking tests too. I think anybody that runs for president should give them tests. And it's not an age thing. It's not based. If you look back on history, 70s and 80s, some of your greatest leaders in the world history, long-time world history, they were in their 70s and their 80s. But I think you should take cognitive tests. I think everybody, they say it's unconstitutional. But I think Kamala should have a test because there's something missing. There's something wrong with her.
A lot of people clam up.
But you either have it or you don't.
Correct.
Look. This is an interview. We've covered a lot of territory, right? And it's fine. I don't care. I want to. I think it's much more interesting. To do an interview with Anderson Cooper, a crazy softball interview. She took 2 days off and she studied all day long, and then she comes out with a result that was a real embarrassment. That was a really bad interview. She couldn't answer a question.
It's actually true. Like I said, that CNN town hall thing that she did with Anderson Cooper was an absolute joke. Again, it showed her dropping in the polls after that. She never answered a question. But like I showed you about the John Kelly accusation of what Trump said about his generals being like the ones in the 30s, the German generals, this was Kamala literally coming out and doing an official press conference to address the claims and try to get you to believe that, well, it's all on the up and up.
So yesterday we learned that Donald Trump's former chief of staff, John Kelly, a retired 4-star general, confirmed that while Donald Trump was president, he said he wanted generals like Adolf Hitler had. Donald Trump said that because he does not want a military that is loyal to the United States Constitution. He wants a military that is loyal to him.
Everything Kamala said here was absolutely 100% a lie. That's all she has left. She knows that nobody likes her. She knows that she's the most unpopular, just unlikable politician to ever be in our government, essentially. And she knows that she has no chance on actual merit to win the presidency. There's only one way she wins this thing. And I think we all know how that is.
The rebels are Republicans now. They're like, you want to be a rebel, you want to be punk rock, you want to buck the system, you're a conservative now. That's how crazy. And then the liberals are now pro silencing criticism. They're pro 100%. Censorship online. They're talking about regulating free speech and now regulating the First Amendment. It's bananas to watch.
Joe, they come after their political opponent.
Well, I
got more guys. I always say, I kid, but I'm not kidding. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the meanest of them all. He'd kill you in 2 seconds if he didn't like you, right? I've been under investigation more than Alphonse Capone. You win, but you know what they did? They did something that's only done in third world countries. They came after their political opponent.
Yes.
I could have put crooked Hillary in jail.
Well, not only that, but they're weaponizing it by saying that that's what you're going to do once you get in office.
Isn't it great?
By ignoring what they're doing right now.
This is the left playbook. It's one of the oldest playbooks ever to accuse the other side of doing exactly what you are doing. To try to take the eyes off of you. You see this all around you. The left has weaponized the system, the machine, to come after you if you don't think and act and speak in a way that they deem to be okay.
Can you imagine Kamala doing this show?
I could imagine her doing this show.
She'd be laying on the floor.
She was supposed to do it, and she might still do it, and I hope she does.
She's not going to do it.
I will talk to her like a human being. I will
try
to have a conversation with her.
If she did this kind of an interview with you, I hope she does, because it would be a mess. She'd be laying on the floor comatose. You'd be saying, call in the medics.
I think we'd have a fine conversation. I think I'd be able to talk to her. I wouldn't try to interview her. I'd just try to have a conversation with her and hopefully get to know her as a human being. That was my goal.
Kamala cannot just sit down and have an actual conversation. She doesn't have the ability to empathize, to sympathize, to relate. She doesn't have any of that. She is someone who is so controlled by evil and destruction within her heart and has sold her soul to Satan in order to get to the position that she's at, that she does not have the ability, the capabilities to sit down and have these kind of conversations without giving herself away, which she does every time she opens her mouth. Now, the last clip I'm going to show you is one of my favorite parts of the entire interview. It's absolutely hilarious.
Elon Musk, yes. He endorsed me. By the way, he gave me the nicest endorsement, too. The tough. He said, the country's going to fail. You should do the same thing, Joe, because you cannot be voting for Kamala. Kamala, you're not a Kamala person. I know you. I've watched you. I know him better than he is. You know what? Without speaking to you, I think I know you maybe almost as well as your wife. I have watched you for so many years. You're not a Kamala person. You're a Khabib person, but you're not a Kamala person. No, nobody's going to know who Khabib is, but
they know
he was not bad, right? That guy.
Oh, he was phenomenal.
It's hilarious. Just seeing Trump tell Rogan, "You're not a Kamala person." Like, it's obvious that Rogan is not a Kamala person. Anybody with half a brain cell is not a Kamala person. That's the point. In fact, I want you to see this in Proverbs chapter 29. Listen to verse 2 here. It says, "When the righteous increase, the people rejoice. But when the wicked rule, the people groan." You know, if we allow wickedness, this radical left agenda to continue to rule, you will continue to hear people groaning. That's what you're hearing today all around us, people groaning. But it doesn't have to be that way. Let's pray that God would allow our society to turn back around and to glorify and honor God in our decisions. Remember, we're not electing a pastor or elders to a church. This is about electing somebody who isn't going to implement the evil, wicked, radical agenda of the left. But hey, let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, join this community. I would love to hear from you on a regular basis. And please, hit that thumbs up button. You know, when you like this video, it'll get pushed out to more people, and it would really help spread the truth. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.